Hi everybody, I'm Ryan, and today we're going to talk about an old banning, specifically the banning of Faithless Looting, and why that card is banned, why it might be broken in Modern. So Faithless Looting is a 1-mana sorcery that says draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards, and you can pay 3 mana to flash it back, which means cast it from your graveyard to draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. So on its surface, it's more or less card selection and also card disadvantage, right? You're using a card to draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards, which means you're giving up 3 cards to profit 2 cards. However, this card is one of the best things you can be doing if you have a graveyard strategy. If you want to be putting cards in your graveyard, especially if you want to be putting certain cards in your graveyard, like in a reanimation strategy or a dredge strategy. It's even better in dredge because you can dredge both of those draws from Faithless Looting to put even more cards into your graveyard. Then Faithless Looting is just broken. And on August 26th in 2019, Wizards realized that. Now I will say, I argue a little bit that Faithless Looting died for Hogaak's sins. Hogaak is just a broken Magic the Gathering card, and I don't think we can talk about the banning of Faithless Looting without talking about Hogaak. And Hogaak will get its own video eventually, but Hogaak is a 7-mana, 5 generic, and then 2 Golgari hybrid, legendary creature avatar, 8/8. You can't spend mana to cast a spell, but has Convoke and Delve. Convoke meaning you can tap creatures to pay that mana. Creatures of the color pays for the color, and then Delve meaning you can exile cards in your graveyard to pay the mana. So this in the context of like Faithless Looting, where you can really fill your graveyard to get Delve stuff, and then other things that come back from your graveyard, because you can add those synergies, allow you to cast Hogaak very, very early. And there are other broken stuff happening in Modern as well. Now I'm going to skip the parts of the announcement that talk about Hogaak. Just understand, like, there's a problem with Hogaak and Hogaak strategies, and graveyard hate isn't quite enough, is the long and short of what they're trying to say. I'll start with when they start talking about Faithless Looting. The key card enabling the majority of these graveyard-focused decks is Faithless Looting. By our data gathered from Magic Online and tabletop tournament results, over the past year, the winningest Modern deck at any given point in time has usually been a Faithless Looting deck. Examples include Hollow One, Is It Phoenix, and Dredge and Bridgevine variants, both pre and post Hogaak's release. As new card designs are released that deal with the graveyards, discarding cards, and casting cheap spells, the power of Faithless Looting's efficient hand and graveyard manipulation continues to scale upward. Regardless of Hogaak's recent impact, Faithless Looting would be a likely eventual addition to the ban list in the near future. In order to ensure the metagame doesn't again revert to a Faithless Looting graveyard deck being dominant, we believe now is the correct time to make this change. For this same reason, we're choosing not to unban Bridge from Below at this time. Now that being said, Faithless Looting did die a little bit for Hogaak's sins, like I talked about. However, they're probably right. Like, enabler cards like this, as a rule, always enabler cards become more powerful as cards get printed. And if Faithless Looting decks were dominant for the previous year, then of course Faithless Looting decks are only going to get better in the future. Now, whether you agree with this ban or not, I don't know. I think Faithless Looting enables a lot of really cool graveyard strategies, which are near non-existent in Modern at the moment. And totally neutering those strategies, I don't feel good about. I would rather weaken those strategies by banning payoffs, like Hogaak. But I am not at the helm. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social medias. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.